Summer's supposed to be the easy season. So why are so many people quietly Googling a therapist between summer Fridays? Because more daylight doesn't fix the hard stuff. Sometimes it just turns the volume up. Grow does therapy differently. Therapy is not only for when you're in crisis. Grow Therapy is here for all the moments when you decide you want more. More support, more clarity, more tools. Mental health isn't a destination you reach. It's something you build, and Grow makes that easier. Grow connects you with thousands of high-quality licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. The therapist you want takes your insurance on Grow. Grow accepts over 125 insurance plans. Sessions average $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/book now today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/book now. growtherapy.com/book now. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
Welcome to the Superman Radio Podcast here on Radio Metropolis. With Lois, Horatio, and Marble clinging to the side of the boat, Kent becomes very worried when he hears from the operator in St. Selmo that she is lost at sea. And as much as we talked about the various iterations of Superman through the years, we've never really looked at Superboy, which came after the Superman movies of the 80s and before Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman in 1994. I was intrigued as to why it came about during a downtime for the character where it succeeded and where it failed. The TV series launched in 1988 and was based on the character of a younger version of Superman who was active as a superhero in Smallville during his teenage years rather than an entirely different Superman universe. This would be the period between Smallville and Metropolis, which the series Smallville just blended together. DC had been doing its Superboy brand in issues of Adventure Comics, so by the time the character had finally made its way to television in 1988, many were really looking forward to this as a fresh reboot of the franchise after the dismal results of Superman 4: The Quest for Peace with Christopher Reeve a year earlier, with the same father-son producing team of Alexander Salkind and Ilya Salkind, following young Clark through his college years. Much like Smallville, a decade later, Superboy also kept the earthly father figure in Jonathan Kent being still alive and influential in Clark's life. John Hames Newton was first to play Superboy, leaving Smallville, and, as Clark Kent, attending college at Schuster University. Lana Lang was in the series, as well as a new character, T.J. White, who just happened to be Daily Planet editor Perry White's son. We even had a young Lex Luthor who appeared to show some of his troublesome side even then. At the end of Season 1, Newton was replaced by Christopher Gerard, who stayed with the series until the end. Newton maintained that it was his decision to leave and that he had been asked back repeatedly. However, it has been stated that Newton was looking for a significant raise, and that he was also cited with a traffic violation, which just can't happen if you're the Boy of Steel. I don't know the details of the traffic violation. It could have just been unpaid parking tickets, could have been a DUI. I have no idea. There are two characters in history that carry a heavy burden for any actor who plays those characters. The first is Superman. The second is Jesus Christ. As an actor, you cannot be seen with a drink, smoking a cigarette, or cavorting in nightclubs. There's a mystique to those two iconic characters that have to be a part of the actor who assumes those roles. That's why you never see Jonathan Roumie, who plays Jesus in The Chosen, if you've seen that. Great series if you haven't. That's why you haven't seen him in any situation even remotely questionable. George Reeves would never be seen smoking or drinking publicly during the heyday of the show, although he was an excessive drinker, but he didn't do that publicly. Towards the end of his life, yeah, you could see him out and about a little bit more, but really at the height of Superman, no. Christopher Gerard, however, was very much accepted as well, as he embodied the spirit of Christopher Reeve's portrayal. They ended up dropping the T.J. White character in favor of Lana Lang's new friend Andy McAllister, and a new recast for Lex Luthor as well. By season 3, Clark and Lana worked for the Bureau for Extra Normal Matters in Capital City, Florida, where they investigated many unusual and unexplained phenomena that were actually part of Superboy's realm. So you can kind of put this on an early take on X-Files. Season 4 would be the last year since DC Comics discontinued the character after the Crisis on Infinite Earths comic event, which basically simplified DC's convoluted multiverse continuity into a single cohesive universe. There were brief discussions to bring back Superman with Christopher Reeve for a 5th installment, but that idea was abandoned in favor of the Lois and Clark series with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. At the time of recording this podcast, John Haymes Newton focuses now on energy healing, while Gerard Christopher is active in health, fitness, and engaging with fans on the convention circuit. Okay, so this just thought we never talked about Superboy before, and it was certainly part of the whole Superman lexicon and the legacy of Superman, so why not talk about it? So let's get to part 3 of our adventure with Lois, Horatio, and Captain Marble, with a B, hanging onto the ship wreckage in the dark, cold ocean, along with a very worried Kent, who hears Lois may be lost at sea. This is The Phantom of the Sea, Part 3, from April 30th, 1947, here on the Superman Radio Podcast on Radio Metropolis.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents The Adventures of Superman. Today, Clark Kent as Superman finally reaches the scene of the mystery, but evidently too late. Deciding to personally investigate a mysterious something in the sea that had paralyzed an entire fishing fleet with fear, Lois Lane and Horatio Horn, eccentric Daily Planet correspondent, hired a boat owned and operated by a Captain Marble. Putting out from San Selmo, a tiny fishing village on the Canadian coast, their skipper took Lois and Horn to the North Banks fishing grounds, where, as the evening fog began to lift, they were horrified to see what appeared to be a gigantic sea monster. Churning the waters to foam, its bright red eyes glared balefully as it glided forward, bearing down on them with great speed and force. And before they could escape, it rammed and capsized their boat, then disappeared into the darkness. As we continue now, Clark Kent is making a vain attempt to reach Lois by telephone, as the girl reported, together with Horatio Horn and Captain Marble, clings to the wreckage of the capsized boat. A stiff breeze lashes the sea into angry white-capped waves that pound at the shipwrecked trio as if trying to tear them loose from the upturned hull. Listen.
Horatio. Here I am, Miss Lane. Are you all right? As well as could be expected under the circumstances.
That's Captain Marble.
Here we are, Captain.
Come on over here and join us.
Well, this is a pretty kettle of fish.
Oh, please, Mr. Horn. No puns now.
Sorry. No pun intended.
Are you all right? Both of you?
If you mean no broken bones, yes.
But I don't know how long I can hold on.
You've got to hold on, Miss Lane. Maybe someone will come looking for us.
Not much chance of that, mister.
Why not, Captain? Somebody might have seen us go out.
Aye, but they won't come looking. Not out here.
You mean because of the
sea monster?
Aye. And now you've seen it with your own eyes. You know you can't blame him.
Yes, but we must do something. We can't just stay out here and drown.
From the way things is going, appears we have much better to look forward to.
Well, why do you say that, Captain?
Because this hull won't stay afloat much longer.
I wish I'd listened to Mr. White and stayed home.
Well, why not wish for Superman while you're wishing?
I'd as well wish for the moon.
Don't be discouraged, Miss Lane. Remember, while there's life, there's hope.
While Horatio Horn tries valiantly to bolster up Lois Lane in the face of Captain Marble's glum forecast of doom, Clark Kent paces the floor in Perry White's office at the Daily Planet, where they are both waiting for a long-distance phone call to be put through to the girl reporter.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Kent, will you please stop pacing the floor?
I'm sorry, Chief, but I can't help being nervous.
Oh, sit down and relax. Wearing out my rug isn't going to help matters.
Why don't you practice what you preach?
Huh? What do you mean?
You're just as worried as I am.
All right, so I'm worried. Who wouldn't be? We've been waiting over an hour to get that call through to Lois in St. Selmo. Why in tarnation should it take so long?
I don't know. Maybe they can't locate her. Maybe she's out.
Oh, what would she be doing out at this hour of the night?
She could be following up a leak.
Well...
The phone.
I'll get it.
I got it. Hello? Yes, Miss Backrack, did you... What? Still haven't located her.
Great Caesar.
Well, did they say when... Wait a minute, what's that? She went where? Never expect to see her again.
What's that?
Because what? Great Scott, are you sure?
Kent, for Pete's sake.
No, that won't be necessary. Thank you, Miss Backrack.
Oh, what's happened, Kent? What's the matter?
Lois and Horn hired a boat and went out to the fishing ground several hours ago to locate the sea monster.
Good heavens.
They haven't been seen or heard from since. From what the St. Selmo telephone operator told Miss Backrack, the villagers never expect to see them again.
That's impossible.
Well, maybe, but this time I'm going to follow my hunch to St. Selmo, so don't waste your breath trying to stop me.
Now thoroughly alarmed, Clark Kent rushes out of the startled editor's office and, locking himself in a storeroom, strips off his street clothes to stand revealed as Superman.
Up with this window. Now, out and away!
Rocketing up into the night sky, the Man of Steel dodges eastward to the sea, then veers left and streaks along the North Atlantic coast toward Canada. In a few moments, he covers the vast distance from Metropolis and drops down behind the Fisherman's Inn in San Selmo. Then, swiftly resuming the guise and garb of the mild-mannered reporter, Clark Kent, he strides into the deserted lobby of the small hotel and approaches the elderly clerk who snores peacefully in a chair behind the desk.
Excuse me.
What's that?
I'm sorry to wake you, but I'd like to...
Well, that's all right, young man. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a young lady, a newspaper reporter.
Reporter, you say?
Yes, her name is Lois Lane, and I understand she went out to the fishing grounds in a hired boat. Do you happen to know if that's true?
As far as I know, it is. And if it is true, don't ever expect to see her again. Alive, that is.
Why do you say that?
Because there's something out there, that's why. And if she and Mr. Horn, that feller with her, if when they saw it, they're plumb goners.
Now, look, can you give me any idea whose boat she hired?
Well, I hear to make a deal with Ike Barnaby to take him out.
You tell me where this man Barnaby lives?
Yep, but it won't do you any good.
Why not?
Because if he took him out, he don't live there no more.
Please tell me where to find his place.
Just as you say. Ike's shack is down at the foot of the next street, alongside his mooring dock.
Thanks very much. Good night.
I told him I wouldn't take no chance of running into that thing living out there in the sea for 10 times what they offered. And I warned them to stay away from it. But they wouldn't pay me no mind.
Who did take them out, Mr. Barnaby?
Jonathan Marble. Well, they're done for. 3 of them.
What makes you so sure?
As the run shouldn't take more than an hour. Hour and a half both ways, especially in Marble's Nancy Ruth. She's a fast 48-footer with diesel power. They've been gone now more than 3 hours.
This looks more than ever like a job for Superman.
How's that, Mr. Kent?
I was just thinking out loud. Look, Mr. Barnaby, could you tell me just where on the fishing grounds this thing you speak of is said to be found?
You're not thinking of going out there to look for him?
I might.
Who'd be fool enough to take you out? Even let you hire a boat?
Don't you worry about that. I'll manage it all right. Just give me the course.
You're asking for it, so here it is. Go straight out from the docks to the last bell buoy. Keep it on your starboard. Bear 3 points east-northeast for 2 miles. It'll run you smack dab into it.
Much obliged, Mr. Barnaby. Good night.
Good night. And heaven help you. Leaving the puzzled fisherman shaking his head sadly, Clark Kent ducks behind a darkened shack and once again resumes his true identity of Superman. And a moment later, he takes to the sky in search of his friends. Will he find them? We'll know more in a moment when we return for the climax of today's episode. So stand by. As Superman takes off in an effort to find them, Lois Lane, Horatio Horn, and Captain Marble are still floundering in the angry waters of the cold North Atlantic. Cramped and nearly frozen, they cling for dear life to the fast-sinking hull of their capsized boat.
Only a few minutes left before this hull goes under.
Oh, that's a happy thought, Captain.
Quick, let go and swim away from this hull. Fast as you can.
Oh.
She's going under.
Who can swim? I can't move a muscle.
I'll help you, Miss Lane.
All right. Now, push away with your legs. Go! Well, there goes the Nancy Root. Best boat I ever owned. Swim fast, or the suction will drag you under.
Clinging desperately with numbed fingers to the bits of wood torn from the wreckage, Lois Lane, Horatio Horn, and Captain Marble continue to drift farther and farther eastward into the vast Atlantic Ocean. Meanwhile, Superman has arrived at the spot where they first capsized and, hovering in midair, vainly scans the angry white-capped waters.
This is where Barnaby said they went. But they're not here now. Where can they be? I must find them, I must. Away!
Unaware that the tide has carried his friends out to sea, Superman continues his search of the area, his keen eyes scanning the dark waters as he skims low. How will Superman find the shipwrecked trio? And will it be in time to save them all from serious injury or worse? Perhaps he may even run into the so-called sea monster. Now that Superman has gone into action, there's excitement ahead in this mysterious story of the Phantom of the Sea. So don't miss the next episode. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow. Same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
And that was The Phantom of the Sea Part 3 from April 30th, 1947, here on the Superman Radio Podcast on Radio Metropolis. It's about time Kent got into gear despite Perry White's initial objections. Now we have Superman in on the action just as the boat went down and the duo are treading water. This is a cold, dark sea in Canada, which sounds a lot frightening, doesn't it? As the mystery gets deeper now, Lois and Horatio are fully exposed to those who have something so valuable to keep hidden that they are now targeting Lois and Horatio, making their lives clearly in danger, such as they are now. In this alleged incident with the sea monster, was that a planned interaction that resulted in their boat being destroyed? Or was it just an accident with the sea monster, forcing them into the sea to drown? Not sure. Seems like it might have been a little bit more planned, in my opinion. Of course, Superman is now in the mix, which means that Lois and Horatio being drowned seems like it's a much more remote possibility, given this is only our third episode of the story, and we're talking about a main legacy character such as Lois Lane, so I doubt anything that tragic is in her future. Yet she always seems to toe that line, doesn't she? And that'll do it for us tonight. That was The Phantom of the Sea Part 3 from April 30th, 1947, here on the Superman Radio Podcast on Radio Metropolis.
This is Radio Metropolis.
Whatever your goal, trade show giveaways, client gifts, or team gear, 4imprint has the promo products to match. With thousands of options, from apparel and drinkware to tech and totes,
It's easy to find the right fit for your brand and budget with standout choices at every price point. And with their 360-degree guarantee, you can be 4imprint certain your order will show up just right on time. Explore more at 4imprint.com.
4imprint.